By the end of this speech, my audience will know who some of the famous heroes of World War II were, how they got that title, and who some of the famous people were who opposed them. So, known as one of the most brutal conflicts in recent history, the Second World War wreaked havoc for 6 years, involving 113 countries, 6 continents. It started in 1939 with Allied forces, which mainly consisted of Britain, Russia, and the United States, sought to stop Nazi Germany in its conquest for European domination. By 1945, Western Europe had been rampaged, and entire race of people were really close to becoming completely eradicated, and the dynamic power in many participating countries will change forever. Central idea of this speech is basically to become more knowledgeable about the reason the Allies won World War II and the people who enforced those reasons. So, alright, so you had the Allied forces and Axis powers, and the Allied forces mainly consisted of Great Britain, Russia, and the United States. And some of the key leaders of World War II from the Allied side were Winston Churchill from Great Britain, Franklin Delano Roosevelt from the United States, and Charles de Gaulle from France, and Stalin. But Churchill epitomized the British Bulldog spirit, which basically pumped them up. And he rallied the British nation to stand alone against the Nazi war. Basically not be afraid. And he quoted, "We shall fight them on the beaches and we will never surrender," which you could tell by that quote about what type of leader Winston Churchill was. So, when France surrendered to the Germans, Charles de Gaulle, he escaped to England to fly the flag of France, fly the flag for free France. And he became the symbol of the French resistance and triumphantly returned to France in 1944. And he basically led the resistance and fought back for France, won his country back, basically. And the U.S. president for 1932 to 1945 was FDR, Roosevelt. And he came in action when World War II, when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and he was the one who brought the United States into the war. So, those are the major heroes of the Allied forces. Now, the Axis powers, they were made up of Germany, Italy, and Japan, which it's not. A lot of them were really strong together. So, and some of the key leaders of the Axis powers included Adolf Hitler from Germany, General Hideki Tojo from Japan, and Benito Mussolini, which is from Italy. And Hitler was a Nazi dictator for Germany from 1933 to 1945. He was born in Austria, but he eventually started in the German military in World War I. He was just a soldier. And then he got into politics and worked his way up. And then he got Chancellor of Germany. And then, from then, you could kind of tell what happened. And he basically planned and started World War II and was responsible for over millions and millions of lost lives in concentration camps and death camps, basically all that. So, and as Germany started losing the war, he got stuck up more and more deeper into Germany. He kind of locked himself in his little house on a mountain and committed suicide at the end of the war. So, that's Hitler. And Mussolini, he was the Prime Minister of Italy from 1922 to 1943 and started the Fascist Party, enhanced his alliance to Hitler by a full military alliance. Basically, if Hitler needed soldiers, Mussolini would be there to give them to him. So, Mussolini eventually was captured by Italian partisans and executed. So that's Hitler, Mussolini. Now you have General Hideki Tojo. He was the Prime Minister of Japan from 1941 to 1944. And Japan was extremely militarist and aggressive in the 1930s and were practically governed by military leaders, which here came General Tojo. He was aggressive army general and became the Minister of War in July 1941 and Prime Minister in October 1941. After a short attempt to improve relations with the United States, he ended up ordering an attack to bomb Pearl Harbor, which eventually bombed Pearl Harbor in December 1941, and that brought the United States into the war, and that was our main target, was Japan then. So at that point in the war, then Germany declared war on the United States, and we fought both of them. So in conclusion, now you have been informed about some of the heroes of World War II, the main individuals who opposed these heroes, and what these heroes and enemies did to gain their fame in the war. So, thank you. My name is Joe Smith.